So we spoke about the journey, I would say, the journey of building a brand. It's not an easy task, and it requires a lot of learning. So we spoke about different areas, how we changed, how we developed, how we learned from our decisions.
Hi, welcome to Blueprint, the B2B marketing podcast. Today with me, I've got Magdalena Fabisiak, the CMO of Kyndryl. Hi, Magda.
Hi, Kuba.
Great to have you here. Thank you for coming.
Thank you for the invitation.
Okay, let's go straight to the point. 2 years ago, Kyndryl spinned out of IBM. On the day one, it became a tech giant with nearly 100,000 employees. How was it to build a brand of this size immediately?
Well, I would say it was like the operation on the open heart. So we had to establish brands for the organization that was huge for day one. We are the biggest infrastructure services provider in the world. With so many employees and with so many customers whom we serve while we were doing the spin-off. So all the building of the brand was like a marathon, I would say, where we didn't have the luxury of starting from, let's say, nothing, where the organization would be built sequentially, but we had to start with a huge background, and that was a big challenge.
Exactly, yeah. I mean, typically brands evolve, grow over the years. This was not the case. So instantly you need to cater to many communication needs, many marketing needs. How do you can definitely not do everything. How do you prioritize those activities? What did you decide that was the most important thing to do brand-wise?
So we decided to be focused and to really try to reach our target audience, the most important target audience in the first step. And we prioritize for the digital. We decided that multi-channel communication is really important and continuous communication. So for the beginning, we decided to start with digital to be present, let's say, in many places at the same time to set the roots and the foundations for other activities.
Okay. So how much effort is needed to establish a brand?
Huge effort, and it's a journey. So it's not completed, right? We are still in our way, and there is still a lot that has to be done. We changed a bit from, let's say, more awareness, broad activities. We are now focused on something that is more tailored to our customers and more tailored to concrete messages. Mm-hmm. But definitely, it's still a big work to do and big journey to go.
And fingers crossed for that. Now, moving on to your role as CMO, mm-hmm. If you could travel back in time, those 2 years back, is there any advice you would give to yourself when you were starting mm-hmm. the Kyndryl journey?
So I think that I don't regret any decision. And even though many of them had consequences, which I had to live with, but I learned from them a lot. If I would think about giving myself an advice for this 2 years back, I think that I would be more challenging to business, actually, to get concrete insight from them, concrete decisions and concrete strategy where we want to go and what and why and how we want to do.
Yeah, there is this saying, I guess, from Alice from Wonderland. If we don't know where we are going, this is exactly where we'll get. So yeah, this is goals are important in marketing for sure. Marketers and I think agencies often love the sales funnel model mm-hmm. because it's so structured, so logical. But I'm not so sure if it fits the nature of enterprise offering mm-hmm. or enterprise audience. Do you use this sales funnel model at all, or maybe you have different approach to, let's say, planning your marketing activities?
Well, actually, we do cooperate with sales a lot, and we use customer journey as the common platform for sales and for marketing in terms of identifying what messages and how we communicate with the customers. So definitely we prioritize on different stages what we want to say, and as well how, let's say, how broad is our message. Our service is not the easiest one, so it's not easy to get the value proposition clearly and shortly being described.
You cannot do it in one step, for sure.
Yes, exactly. And you cannot do it in one sentence, unfortunately, for our services. So we differentiate how we communicate on different stages of this journey. At the beginning, it's more, let's say, high level. Further in the sales channel, we go toward case studies and more of using our experience. And we as well use our experts very, very intensively, because they are subject matter experts, so engineers. They are the one who work with customers every day. They are the one who are these hands-on the daily challenges. So we actually use their expertise in communication with customers to show the real experience and to show the cases that we went through from the customers around the world, right?
This is amazing, because it sounds like, well, it could be a back office, but it's at the very front in the communication.
It is. Those people are it's our product, right? We don't have anything else than our experts. So we decided that we want to put them in the front of the customer to show the expertise.
That's smart. Your LinkedIn says, I keep the customer in the absolute center of all activities. Well, tell me, what does it really mean? It sounds great.
You know what? My sales team always doesn't like when I start to ask questions, because I always ask myself and them, like, is it really what customer want to hear, or is it what you want to tell them? So I really challenge them to keep saying what is the answer for the needs, and not what we maybe would like to say. It's not easy, but I believe that this is the super important point to get the attention. It's so many of the communication on the market. It's such a kind of chaos around, right? That to pick the information that matter, it's not the easy task. So I thought that from the customer perspective, if I would be the customer, I would like to listen to things that only matters for me, right? And there's so many other things around that I don't concentrate on things that is not exact answer to my needs. That's why I think that having this customer perspective and putting ourselves in their shoes with every single thing that we do in marketing communication is very important. And that is my focus.
Yeah, I like it a lot. I think it requires from us marketers a lot of effort in research, because it's about all the time trying to, be empathetic, understand what the client really wants. And I was just recently discussing this with my colleagues regarding the customer journey topic that you touched upon. I saw that sometimes, it is very much forced on the audience. So we say, okay, what are the touch points? We define the touch points. This is going to be done by the sales rep. This is going to be done digitally. But sometimes, research shows that actually the customer wants it the other way around. They don't want to speak to our sales team yet, because they prefer digital touch points.
Definitely. And, we tend to say in B2B that customer, which is anonymous enterprise, at least this was the theory earlier, doesn't react the same as a consumer, which is, I guess, the biggest mistake, because we sell people to people, right? So in the end, it's his behavior, how he, buy. It's the same for the business, right?
That's true. Okay. My last question regarding your CMO role. I understand you also work with partners, agencies. What are the criteria to select a good partner?
So for me, really the important part is that the partner invests time to get to know our company. So we are not the easiest one, and our business is not the easiest one. So I really appreciate if the partner really make an effort to understand our business a bit more, to be able to, assess it at somehow, right? Not look for us with the stereotype of conclusions, but really go a bit deeper to understand our situation, our particular needs, and how our business might react. So this is what I look for. And as well, out of the box thinking, right? So this is my criteria.
Yeah, this actually relates to the question that is further down the line, but let's get to it instantly. Obviously, the stereotype is that B2B marketing is quite boring, logical, structured, nothing out of the box. If you get out of the box, please go back instantly. But I've noticed creativity or emotions being kind of stepping into the realm of B2B marketing. Do you observe it as well? And
absolutely. And we really experience this in many cases. We have this now a kind of project that is around customer moments. And these customer moments, it's about relations, and relations are about emotions, right? So the main focus is customer experience. And this is a lot about being creative, being empathetic to the customer, and as well put him in the, let's say, center of activities that we surround him with from the marketing perspective, so that his experience on every step on his customer journey would be, let's say, amazing and would be consistent with other things that we do for him.
But as a brand as big as Kyndryl is, 100,000 people, would you be willing to, because it's also a kind of consultative brand, and consultants are always, those serious guys, would you be open to doing something that is really kind of, a bit emotional, that doesn't really, it's difficult to put a equation mark between emotional and consultant, like advising, giving the best advice?
In the end, we are people, right? And what we observe is that being honest and being natural, it pays off. And this is something that customers value. So definitely, being a big brand, but on the other hand, being a brand that is based on people, make this need on emotions, make this need on human being at the first point, right?
Authenticity
yes.
as well, being natural. Now I'd like to speak a bit about the impact of marketing, because there's a humongous discussion on what's the ROI out of my campaign. And Kyndryl is an enterprise brand. You sell very often to enterprise size clients, and it's quite challenging because you've got robust audience. The sales process is very lengthy. It's kind of difficult, to instantly say what's the impact of your work. How do you prove that what you do makes sense?
Relations. This is the name of the game for us. So we look for on the marketing as this channel that helps to build relations. And
how can you measure that or track? And how do you because you can feel it yourself, but how do you make sure that you can communicate it within your team, to your supervisors?
So customer moments. This is the KPI that we have in marketing, and these customer moments means different things, right? It's we have a program, Profile of Progress, which is together with the Economist. And
does it have any numerical value, like quantitative, or it's rather like?
This is something that you cannot measure in dollars, the program. But in the end, all these elements contribute to stronger relation with the customer and to position Kyndryl as partner of choice in customer head. And all of this, in the end, of course, turn out for revenue, right?
So it lands in your CRM kind of as a kind of a note, or
Yes,
I'm curious about the details.
We do have a system
I'm curious about the details.
We do have a system that is tracking customer moments. So any like more spectacular interaction that we do have with customer, and this might be a joint campaign on LinkedIn, or a joint campaign with this profile of progress, or at a podcast, or some additional activities that we do with the concrete customer that shows the eminence, that shows the testimonial for our joint work, right? So this is how we track, and we are far away from let's say catching the leads in the system as the only KPI, because we believe that in our business marketing, let's say, should do much more. And definitely the experience and the relation area is something that we believe we can add value as a marketing, right?
Yeah. No, I'm very pleased you said, you didn't say it's CPMs or CTRs or open rates. Yeah, it goes far beyond it. Yeah.
Far beyond, yes. We just believe that it's more soft. Of course, in the end, everybody counts dollars, right? That's the goal of the business. But we, let's say, try to look much more broad on the value that marketing brings. And yes, of course, at some point we need to show it in a quantitative way. And this quantitative way is the customer moments. So this is what we track. Yeah.
But it sounds like it's a longer period of time. It's not like in this specific moment.
Definitely. We look on programs. So we do have the eminence programs with customers. We do have this ABM program, which is, by the way, we got the award recently on a worldwide level for our ABM program. And for the customers that are in the program from the very beginning for already 2 years, there is a group of customers that were from the beginning and that are still within the program. The impact that we see on the business, on a new business that we have with this customer, or the extensions, or some other like additional relations that we build, is really significant.
That's great. So it touches, let's say, then the next question from me. Obviously, as a CMO, you're very close to the commercial area. I mean, you have a huge impact on that. How do you align your marketing goals with the sales, with the commercial goals, and how to plan marketing activities so they are relevant on the sales impact?
The name of the game for us is to be focused, right? So we rather tend to do let's say less activities, but those that are much more tied to the sales strategy. So instead of going very broad, we go within concrete industries that are the focus one, or within concrete areas that the sales team is developing, as well, to have the consistency from the customer perspective. So the ideal situation is when at the customer journey, when customer first is, let's say, touched with the digital activities, there are some touch points with us that are more on a digital footprint. He has the same communication than the sales team is pursuing on a face-to-face meeting, right? So the customer has the consistency and doesn't and see it as a one message and one Kyndryl. And we believe that doing that, customer will just have a better understanding of our value proposition. And secondly, as we have a complicated organization and we have many services, it's very important not to have this impression that we are, like
different teams of people.
Yeah, whatever is needed, we have this, right? It is true, but we want customer to be sure that this is for his needs, right? In particular. Yeah. So this is how we do it. Yes.
So was it always like that? I mean, the skills of marketers needed to evolve, like that maybe you invented them this way right now. Was it like this in your, let's say, previous steps of the career? And I want to understand if this kind of proximity of those teams is like a novel thing, or
it's no, it was not like this from the beginning, and as well it's a learning, because you know how it is. Marketing is a domain that everybody feels to be an expert, so you have many advisors in the organization, especially from the sales team. Everybody knows best, so it comes with some kind of seniority at some point that somebody needs to make the decision, right? And even though you have many advisors, some of these advisors needs to be excluded and to be really very focused on what you want to achieve. Because yes, of course, it would be lovely if we would be everywhere, right? If you would have outdoor, if you would be on every media and on every conference, and have a huge and complicated digital campaign. But of course, it doesn't happen that way, right? We as an organization, we grow, we transform. So we as well need to make decision what to do first. And it is kind of journey as well. It was for myself to learn to say no to many of the business requests, right? And to explain them that at this point of time, my proposition would be to do this and that, and not this and that, because of different facts, right?
It's very interesting what you say, and I very much relate to it. I just recently spoke with my colleague. He's also the C-level in a large organization, and he said that his primary rule is to eliminate 95% of requests that come in his way and just focus on the 5. Yeah.
Yes, I would resonate with that.
That's great. Okay, so you said marketing is evolving. The role of marketer is changing. More empathy towards sales, more empathy towards the client. How do you make sure that you kind of stay at the top of the wave? And any resources or where do you seek advice? Where do you seek insight?
So different sources. I definitely read books, go to some trainings. I have as well mentors, and mentors not only from marketing. I have mentors from senior business leaders who can advise on different business strategies and who can give me the perspective on how the business might go and why something might happen and something might not happen. So this gives me a lot of kind of insight and background to make better marketing decisions, to make more precise decisions, to be more brave in being focused, right?
Is it like a structured mentorship program, or you rather, yeah?
Yes, I have a mentor since few years already, senior business leader, right now retired, and
out of Kyndryl.
Yes, out of Kyndryl, and I really value these discussions about strategies. My recent as well discovery is the masterclass. This is this platform for education. So
you still find time to do it?
Yes, I do. And they have great application for phones, so that's my game changer. And I love, recently I was listening to podcasts with the CEO of Bumble. And it's a woman, a young woman, so it was very inspirational. First, what journey she has, how brave she was, and as well how innovative she was in what they did with this company, and how greatly they grew. It was a startup, so for us, we in Kyndryl, we as well at some point define ourselves as a huge but still startup, at least in a soul. This kind of inspiration for being brave, being continuous in the decision, this is something that is very inspirational to me, and I tend to, listen to this kind of people for some better ideas.
Thank you for sharing that. Well, you also touched the topic of a female leader, and I feel like I should follow this thread. Obviously, you work in a high-tech company that is often associated with like male, great majority of male. Do you feel it's specifically challenging for female marketers to maneuver in the world of high-tech?
Well, I don't think it's specifically challenging in tech and for marketing. It's challenging for women, I guess, in general. And, I much believe in sisterhood. And I think that being a woman leader gives you this chance to make space for another woman leader and to help grow, to give this helpful hand. So I believe myself in this, and I am grateful that around me I have colleagues who were always listening, always next to, helping with growing. And as well, I have as well men leaders who are very supportive, right? Who believe in women leadership and who makes great effort to help and grow, right? As well, the company is making an effort with some additional education and some leader development program just for women, and that gives you a bit broader perspective on different topics and gives you this empowerment that you can go to the highest level and it's within your achievement.
That's great. So power to sisterhood and power to female supporting
Definitely.
male leadership. Okay. We spoke about things that, how marketing changed, what works, but obviously there are some things that probably don't work. Do you feel like there's something that is totally overhyped in marketing these days? At least in your area.
I think that LinkedIn is a bit overhyped if you don't do it properly. So I think that it's not enough to be present on LinkedIn. You need to be present in a proper way, in a way that you want to be.
So what is the proper way?
The content strategy, right? This is the name of the game, right? So we invested some time at the beginning to build the way how we want to be present on media and on social media specifically, right? And you need to be expert in something, right? And it's not about being present every day. It's about being present with meaningful content, right? So I think that from my perspective, social media is a bit overhyped. Everybody wants to be on social media. Not everybody is doing this in a way that it adds value, right?
So. That's true. I mean, I feel quite the same, especially with, the ChatGPT revolution, AI revolution. It feels like it's easy to produce content, but then you can really see that, some of the posts are very long and they use all the buzzwords, but you don't really feel there is value there. Yeah. So.
And as well for the leader, everybody is different. And I am now driving the social eminence program for a selected number of my leaders across Europe. And what I encourage each of them to do first as a homework is to really define how they want to see themselves and in what areas they are really experts, right? And to stick to these areas, right? Not to be experts from everything, but to be experts for a well-defined 3 areas, right? And to create content that brings value in these areas. This is a homework that they need to do at the beginning, which is not easy as well for many of them to identify, but it's very beneficial later when they build these profiles, when they build their existence, and as well the loyalty of their audience and the engagement of the audience that they have, being consistent in their messages, is just not comparable to when you just, showcase and then after some time you have this impression that this person is like, jumping from the fridge with whatever topic flies, right?
Just reposting from the corporate profile.
Yes, exactly.
Exactly. Okay, Magda, thank you so much. It was great having you.
Thank you.